Now to that breaking news here at noon. We are following the search for two boys, one of whom is from Cincinnati, who disappeared last night in the Red River Gorge, which is in eastern Kentucky. This right here is a picture of those boys. They're cousins, 5-year-old Michael Esposito of Batavia and 7-year-old Adrian Ross of Indiana. This picture taken just before they disappeared. Now, here's a look at the area that crews are searching for them right now. The Red River Gorge is in the Daniel Boone Forest, which is east of Lexington. Not on your side, Zach Pitts is there now. And Zach, what's the latest on that search?
Well, Julie, we just hit that 18-hour mark for the search for those two boys. You can see right behind me, they've actually kept us back at a distance right now. Police and authorities, they don't want us going back any further because obviously we don't want to intrude on the search. We don't want to be any kind of hinder to the search. And as I said, the search now going into 18 hours, hundreds of volunteers as well as search crews scouring those woods and combing through every inch of this area. I want to show you the video from overnight. Once again, the crews out there in full force looking for those two boys. Now, I'm told that this all started as some sort of family reunion camping trip. So basically, all the guys, the boys, they came up here yesterday, and all the women and the girls, they were going to come up today. Once again, this was a family camping trip. Well, somewhere along the lines, the boys, they're all playing somewhere. Dad, he was setting up the tent. Grandpa, he was cooking dinner at that point. And there must have been some kind of confusion who was watching the boys, but two of the boys, Michael and Adrian, they walked off. They have not been seen since. That was around 6 o'clock last night. As you can imagine, the parents of those two boys absolutely devastated at this point, worried sick. We actually had a chance to talk with Michael's mother. That is the 5-year-old. Our anchor, Chris Riva, spoke with her over the phone this morning. Take a listen to what she had to say.
Well, how are you doing? How are you holding up?
Well, it's tough. They've been missing for more than 12 hours now, and so basically we've got a lot of good people who are working hard, and and they're very well trained, and this is what they do, and saying a lot of prayers because at this point, God's the only one taking care of my kids. So I can't really afford to break down and be emotional because I'm needed, to help answer questions and coordinate things. So, get through this, and we're going to bring them back.
And once again, that was the 5-year-old's mother, Michael, the 5-year-old's mother. And I can tell you that search crews, they were using bloodhounds, also using helicopters with infrared technology to track down those boys. You can see right behind me the woods, very thick terrain, very dangerous terrain, I should say. So I want to bring in Trooper Joe Veneman. He is with the Kentucky State Police. We'll let you come on this way so this car can pass on through. And you were telling me moments before we came on the air, very thick woods, rough terrain. So what are these searchers up against right now?
Well, what the searchers up to, this is Daniel Boone Natural Forest, also Red River Gorge. It's a very popular place for rock climbers, so you can just imagine what the type of terrain is. If rock climbers are coming to this area, just imagine the kind of obstacles that the search and rescue crews are looking at.
And I heard something about really deep drop-offs as well.
Yes, there are several cliffs within the area. From my understanding, there's one that's fairly close to this camping area alone that the drop-off is approximately 150 feet.
And also, when you and I were talking earlier, you were talking a little bit about the search tactic, how they're doing it. They're using some sort of grid system to cover as much ground as possible. Can you talk a little bit about that for me?
Yes, what a grid search is, it's basically to where they set up an area that they're going to be searching, and they set up just particular areas, grids, for just different search and rescue teams to go to look specifically to look in just that area alone, so that way they're covering more ground.
Okay, Trooper, before I let you go real quick, as a father, as somebody with the Kentucky State Police, you guys are going to expend every resource that you can until you find these little boys?
That's correct. We're going to be out here as long as we can, and hopefully we'll come back with a positive ending to the story.
Trooper Joe Veneman with the Kentucky State Police. Of course, not on your side. We're going to be following this very closely. We have another crew on the way here right now to continue following this story, and the search will continue. Of course, we'll bring you the very latest, both on air and online at WCPO.com. Julie, back to you.
All right, let's hope they find him, Zach. Thank you. And my colleague Tanya O'Rourke is in Chopper 9 now, the only local helicopter bringing you breaking news first. She is headed to the Red River Gorge, and we will monitor that search. We'll be checking in with both Tanya and Zach throughout the newscast as well. So stick